What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Wednesday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Connie, and welcome back after a Tuesday off day, after a Monday that was pretty crappy. We went 3-0 on Sunday, gave it all back on Monday, 0-3. I'm not going to entirely blame myself. The football game on Monday night was weird, man. Aaron Rodgers goes down on the fourth play. Obviously, everybody knows that. And then the Bills lose the game, but we had a Garrett Wilson prop that as soon as Rodgers went down, that was pretty much toast. Had a Blue Jays under, and I'm obviously going back to the well with them and wearing the Jays today. But frustrating stretch for the Toronto Blue Jays. So we are down 3 units for the week. It's Wednesday. It's time to get them all back. 3 plays, 3 sports, including an early NFL 3-game parlay that I like. In full disclosure, I had a bonus free bet on DraftKings that I had to use by yesterday, and I had to use it on the NFL. So I figured, well, you know what? I like this parlay a lot. It's kind of old school. If you're from Canada or from Ontario, you remember back before single game betting was allowed, you had to bet a 3-game parlay. So it's kind of a little throwback to my old NFL betting days where you had to bet on 3 games minimum. Before we get to that, ways you can support this channel, just hit the subscribe button. I always forget. It's over there. Hit the subscribe button. Tell at least one friend. This guy does this almost each and every day. He's up over 50 units on the year. We're getting into the NFL season, which is a really fun time. Lots of bets. And also jump in the Discord. I need to start putting more effort and time into the Discord. I still post this stuff in there, but I want it to be more conversational. That's sort of the whole idea and the whole point behind it. And for everybody in there to interact and share their bets as well. It is kind of a sort of a one-sided conversation as it stands, which I get. The idea is for other people to be sharing their bets, sharing their picks, sharing other stuff about other stuff as well. So those are the 2 ways that you can support that I very much do appreciate. Let's talk Toronto Blue Jays. So they came into this 4-game set with the Texas Rangers up 1.5 games in the wild card race. On them, they are now behind them by half a game, tied with Seattle for the last wild card spot. They've lost the first 2 games of this series. They lost 10-4 and 6-3. This offense is the most frustrating offense that I can remember with the Blue Jays, because they're supposed to be good. I don't know why Vladimir Guerrero has regressed so much. You've got Bo Bichette, who's dealt with injuries, Matt Chapman, who's dealt with injuries, Alejandro Kirk, who was an all-star last year, Santiago Espinal, who was an all-star last year. Where are they? I don't know. But they're still 80-65, and their pitching is the best in baseball, best in the American League. You've got today Jordan Montgomery. He's 1-4 in his last 5 starts with an ERA of 3. He just gave up 5 to Oakland and 6 to Minnesota. He went 5 2/3 against Oakland, only 3 2/3 against Minnesota. For Toronto, you've got Yusei Kikuchi. He's 3-2 in his last 5 starts. He just went 5 against Kansas City, gave up 1. 5 against Colorado, gave up 2. He went 6 against Cleveland, where he gave up 4. 5 against Baltimore, where he gave up 3. 6 against Philly, where he gave up 1. He's been good. Texas against lefty pitching has a 273 average. The Jays versus lefty pitching have a 280 average. The Jays have to get this game. They cannot lose 3 or 4 to Texas. At this point, the best they can hope for is a 2-2 split. I'm going to take the money line. Toronto Blue Jays minus 118. That's at FanDuel. Strictly, you can call it strictly a homer bet. They have to win this game. They have to win this baseball game. And I think they will. Toronto Blue Jays minus 118 at FanDuel. Shifting to the WNBA. It is playoff time. This is game 1 of the first round of the WNBA playoffs. You've got the Chicago Sky, who come into this. They finished the season 18-22. They're at the Las Vegas Aces, who finished the season 34-6. My bet is on the Chicago Sky, not the money line certainly, which is like plus 1100, but it's 16.5, plus 16.5. We've been following the Vegas Aces. Most of my WNBA bets this year have come in Vegas Aces game. They're still without Candace Parker. And I don't want to say they've limped to the finish line, but they haven't really been playing all that well. The Aces are, 0-5 ATS in their last 5 against the Eastern Conference. The Aces are 1-5 in their last 6 following an ATS loss. And then you look at Chicago, who's played well to get into the playoffs. They're 4-0 ATS in their last 4 road games. They're 7-1 ATS in their last 8 games overall. These two teams played each other 3 times during the regular season. Las Vegas did not win by 16.5 points a single time. Their biggest victory was by 13 points. It is the playoffs. Games are tighter. Vegas is the better team, obviously. I get it. Vegas probably wins this game. Do they blow out the Chicago Sky? I don't know. This is actually a game the Sky could steal one. I don't know if Vegas is necessarily in the playoff mode yet. They won the championship last year. They cruised. They were like 20-0 at one point to start this year, and they just seem to not really be into it. And it might take a couple games for them to get there. You might want to sprinkle something on Chicago Sky for plus 1100. I'm not going to recommend that. I might do that. We'll see. But I do think 16.5 points in game 1 of the playoffs is too much. I'm going to take Chicago Sky plus 16.5 for minus 112 at BetRivers. And then we've got our NFL parlay. Okay, so one of the picks is in tomorrow night's Thursday night game. It's Philadelphia versus Minnesota. We're taking Philly. On Sunday, I'm taking Dallas over the Giants and Dallas over the Jets and Buffalo over the Raiders. Here's my reasoning. Philly is the best football team in the NFC. Minnesota, they just lost to Tampa Bay. Okay. Tampa Bay is supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, especially the NFC. Minnesota lost 20-17. Did not look great. Now they are on the road in Philadelphia, and the last time these two teams played was last September. It was a 24-7 win for Philadelphia. I think Philly is primed and ready to make another push to the Super Bowl, possibly win it. Minnesota, I feel like, is regressing a little bit. Their run game without Dalvin Cook isn't quite as good. I think Philadelphia wins this football game. Again, all these bets are just on the money line. I don't care if it's by 1 or by 10. I think Philadelphia wins this game at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Now you've got Dallas. Dallas just beat the New York Giants 40-0 on Monday Night Football. The Jets should be better than the Giants, but that was before they've lost Aaron Rodgers, and now Zach Wilson, I want to say it's his first start. He played the entire game. And let's be honest, the Jets beat the Buffalo Bills. They beat them 22-16. Can they do that twice? There's a lot of emotion. It's Monday Night Football. You've got the Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot going on that I think could have contributed to the Jets winning that football game. And the Dallas Cowboys are another team that I think they've been building this up for many, many years with this core. It's now or never. I think the Giants are better than the Jets now after the injury to Rodgers. Well, I'd actually comparable. But you've got 40-0. Dallas is at home. They won the first game at the Giants. Now you're at home in Texas, your home opener. You've got the Jets, who had their big emotional week 1, now heading out on the road. The Dallas Cowboys to win this football game. And then lastly, we've got the 0-1 Bills and the 1-0 Raiders. But I'm going to take the Bills on this one. The Raiders beat Denver 17-16. It was a good win. Impressive win in Denver. They went into Denver and they won that game. Buffalo, obviously, we just talked about, lost 22-16 to the Aaron Rodgers-less Jets. Look, the Bills are one of the best teams in the AFC, regardless. You've got Kansas City, you've got Buffalo, you've got Cincinnati. Those are probably the 3 teams that are going to be there at the end. Regardless of the bad performance, regardless of what you can say about Josh Allen regression, the Buffalo Bills are a better football team than the Las Vegas Raiders, and they're going to have a big bounce back win here. They're at home. It's their opener. Now you've got Vegas on the road. Give me the Buffalo Bills on the money line. So you've got the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Bills all on the money line, plus 107 at DraftKings. I like that a lot for all 3 of those teams. They're all very good spots. It's actually a pretty close slate for week 2, so spreads are going to be interesting, but I do think all those teams can win their football games. So, as mentioned, Appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button or tell a friend to do the same. Hop in the Discord to join the discussion. Your 3 bets for today: Toronto Blue Jays Moneyline -118 at FanDuel, and the Chicago Sky +16.5 in Game 1 against the Las Vegas Aces. And in the NFL, give me the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Buffalo Bills on a +107 Moneyline Parlay at DraftKings. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me across all my socials linked in the description. Your audio is on Apple and on Spotify. Have a great Wednesday, and let's talk sports.